Have you ever thought that if you share what's really happening for yourself, what's really going on inside, that people will leave you, or that they won't like you, or they'll be somehow disgusted or disturbed or confused by what you're saying, that they won't really understand what's actually so important to you? And then you just decide to shut yourself up and close down. I know for myself that this is something that even though I grew up with a lot of safety at home around expressing feelings and emotions and being myself, I still notice a pattern in me to hide those most vulnerable parts of who I am, the parts that I'm really afraid other people won't like. And I noticed that, for example, one of my most vulnerable past pains is this core belief that I no longer believe to be true, but it somehow comes up and affects me in a very sneaky way. But there is this core belief that I'm stupid and that I have nothing intelligent to say. And so when I'm in interactions with people, sometimes, much, much, much less than it used to happen, but sometimes I change the way that I behave, particularly if I'm in a new group, or if I'm amongst people who I really value and enjoy the way that they teach or the way that they bring themselves in the world, then I might change the way that I behave or the way that I speak, because I really want for those people to see me as intelligent or to see me as valuable and contributing to the world. And therefore I shut out certain parts of myself, and I won't say something that's there in me in order to feel like I belong and in order to receive that kind of false reassurance that I get from people responding in ways that I then believe says that they like me and that I'm accepted. I already feel very vulnerable sharing this live with people across the world, because I would hate that my vulnerability would then be perceived as a weakness, or that anyone would watch this video and think that they need to reassure me and tell me that I am intelligent, and actually that's crap what you're thinking about yourself. Because actually I see this vulnerability in me and this pain that lives in me as one of my biggest teachers. And if it was not there, then I wouldn't have access to all of the beauty that is available from me connecting to that vulnerability and sharing it with you. And the beauty is that I find more self-awareness. I then have power. I have more power within myself to make changes and to really see how it is that I want to bring myself to the world. Maybe right now I can even contribute by sharing my honesty and hearing back if other people resonate with this experience, and perhaps my sharing can touch some people who would otherwise have those experiences of not bringing themselves fully and yeah. So I really see vulnerability actually as an act of self-love and self-connection, and I see it as a gift to the world, because each time I experience someone else as sharing their vulnerability with me, sharing their deepest discomforts or fears or worries or, embarrassments about themselves, I feel immediately engaged and not just engage, but like I want to say thank you. I feel gratitude because it's such a rare gift to have the chance to hear what's really alive in someone, the truth without all the flowers and the bushes and the makeup. But what's really there, what's happening in you, and somehow I feel intimately more connected. And I also quite often experience a sense of resonance in myself, like that some part of my body can really resonate and understand your experience. So there's a part of me that wants to delete this video and not send it out to the world. That's my vulnerability speaking. It's going, oh my goodness, people might judge this video or you, Emma, and say, oh, well, if she's having those thoughts, then she's not really walking her walk. She doesn't really know what she's doing. She's speaking violently towards herself. Or that they might say, they might have judgments towards me like, okay, now I need to reassure her because she's sharing these things and she wants reassurance, when actually that's not at all what I want. I just want to express myself honestly and maybe inspire others to bring themselves honestly, and express their vulnerabilities too. So if you've watched this sharing of mine and you notice that you can resonate within yourself, that you also have experiences where you don't fully bring yourself to the table, to your partner, to your family, to your friends, to your boss, and you step over something because there's a real vulnerable spot that really doesn't feel safe to say what's really alive in you, then I'd love to hear from you, and I'd really like to invite you to share that in the comments below so that we can be in a shared reality together around how vulnerability does exist in our lives. Thank you for watching.